Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee Combos. I'm excited for tonight's episode. How are you, Lindsay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm in a little bit of a funk right now, but we're going to get through it. We're going to push through it and just keep it moving. But before we start, do you have any articles you want to share tonight?
Actually, tonight, I don't really have any articles. I just have like real life stuff.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I have this really funny story about Jackson. And first of all, he knew once he told me the story and I was laughing so hard, he's gotten to the point where he's like, Mom, is that going to be on your podcast or not? And I'm like,
that's so cute.
It definitely is. And he's like, well, I think I should be on it tonight because it's the one that happened to me. So I think I should be able to tell it. And I'm like, no, I don't think so tonight, buddy, but maybe another night. It was so funny though. He found this feather, at church. Cause I told you he had been going to church camp for the past 2 weeks and it finally wrapped on Friday. And it was so cute. I picked him up and there was like in the room that he was in, there was like a high school helper in there. And it was an older guy, probably like 16 or 17 years old. And he was so good with the kids. And Jackson like immediately took to him and was kind of like his little buddy all week. And on the last day I picked him up and I literally cried. I was like, oh my God, like this is so sad. He came outside of the classroom and got down on his knees and was like, Jackson, I'm going to miss you a lot, buddy, and good luck on your adventures in kindergarten and make sure that you stay out of trouble. And he like gave him a really big hug. And I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. But Jackson had found a feather at the church. And so he's been like on this feather kick. And I think all kids kind of do that whenever they get something new or something, they just get on this kick and that's all they want to talk about. So we were driving down the road and he was like, Mom, did you know that back in the olden days, people used to write with feathers? And
did you say?
I was like, well, yeah, they did. And he was like, well, you know who probably wrote with feathers? My grandparents probably wrote with feathers.
In the olden days. Oh my gosh. He should, yeah. I mean, he might be right.
I was like, oh my God, like they aren't that old, but I mean, it was just funny, just like his thought process. I was just like, in the olden days. Okay.
In the olden days. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Oh, Jackson. We should have him on soon. We should have him on again.
I know. And then there was this other funny thing too that happened. I took him to Chick-fil-A last night, which again, as I've said multiple times, it's my home away from home. And the only fast food restaurant that we go to is Chick-fil-A. And Jackson and I were just sitting there, just us two having dinner. And there was some kids that kept coming in and out of the playground. And I saw them and I was like, they kind of look like they're too big to be playing in the playground, but you know, whatever, it's not my business. So I asked Jackson after he had gone through his whole meal, he plowed through it and then got an ice cream. I said, are you going to play or are you ready to go home? And I was really hoping he was like, oh, we can go home and play outside because I thought, you know what, these kids are too big for him to be playing with. But he was like, no, I really want to go to the playground. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. So he goes in the playground and I see this boy who looked like he was probably about 9 or 10 years old. And he kept coming out of the playground. And I don't know if y'all have Chick-fil-A's or not, but if you do, outside of the playground, they have the sanitizing wipes, like individually wrapped. Mm-hmm. So this boy keeps coming out and he will grab like 2 or 3 sanitizing wipes and he'll go back in. And then like a minute later, he's looking around and he goes back and grabs 2 or 3 more sanitizing wipes. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I can see Jackson in the playground and he's looking at me. And I'm like, oh God, something's going on. And I thought for sure maybe somebody had brought a drink in there and knew that they weren't supposed to have it in there. So they were just trying to like sneak and clean it up. Well, so I go to the door and I open it up and I go, what's going on in here? and this boy has all these sanitizing wipes like laid out flat on the ground. And I thought, oh, well, he's just like cleaning up a water spill. So Jackson starts getting nervous and he looks at me. He goes, Mom, it wasn't me. This boy right here, he was trying to set up booby traps to catch a dad, but not my dad or not his dad. He was trying to catch up another dad. And I was like,
what?
A booby trap? And he was
with
like,
sanitizing wipes?
With sanitizing wipes. And I was like, Jackson, is that true? And the boy's like looking at me and his eyes are like as big as saucers. And Jackson said, that's what he said. He said that he was trying to set up a booby trap to catch a dad. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't something that I'm comfortable with. So you need to get your shoes and we're going to leave. And I said, and furthermore, I said, you know, these sanitizing wipes cost somebody money and people shouldn't be taking them out and using them on the ground like this. I mean, the kid had like 12 sanitizing wipes out. And
well, first of all, where were his parents?
I don't know. I don't know where his parents were. And that's why I said to Jackson, too, it was like whenever we were leaving, because I wasn't going to try to make Jackson like tell on him like right in front of him, you know? So I waited until we started leaving and I kind of started getting the story. And Jackson said, well, his parents should have been watching him. And I said, well, yeah, his parents should have been watching him. But I didn't even see these kids had parents. And if they were, maybe they were like at the outside tables or something. I'm not really sure. But obviously they didn't care. They weren't around enough to see what was going on. And Jackson was so funny. We got in the car and I said, well, you know, Jackson, when you do stuff like that, first off, if you're using it in ways that it wasn't intended, then that's kind of like stealing and you should not be involved in doing something like that. I said, that is just not very nice. And he said, well, I told that boy that setting up booby traps to try to catch people is really not a nice thing to do. And that I didn't want to be involved in it because my God would not think that that was good. And I said, well, I'm glad that you told him that. And I said, that makes mommy really happy. And I said, but you know, people that do that when they're little kids, they probably go to jail whenever they grow up. And he said,
let's see.
His eyes got like all big. And when we were pulling out, literally a cop pulled out right in front of us. And so it was like perfect opportunity. I said, look, that policeman's probably going to the Chick-fil-A to get that boy. And Jackson looked so scared in the back seat. And he said, yep, the only thing I can think of is when you do stuff like that, that's when you get arrested.
That's when you get arrested. Oh, Jackson needs his own podcast.
I know. I was literally almost in tears. And, you know, it's like one of those parenting moments where you want to teach him a lesson, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm
and so you can't help but laugh.
I can think of. Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
You know, I was just like, seriously? And I was trying not to laugh, but of course, like he can see me in the car and
right. So you can't like do it in front of him.
I know. And I was just like, oh my God, but the story was so funny and like how it all played out was so funny. And as I was leaving the Chick-fil-A, I saw the boy in the playground. He was like scrambling around trying to get all of his sanitizing wipes up. And I'm just like, what are you thinking? Like,
I just need to know where his mother was or his guardian or his parent.
Exactly. I hope she's not listening.
Well, she might. Someone's going to tell her about it.
So anyway, do you have any interesting life events going on?
Okay. So what do you want to hear first? Because I got a couple things that we can talk about. So I have a gross story to tell you. I'm actually very embarrassed about it, but I'm going to repeat it anyways.
Tell that one first.
Okay. So you and I have talked about pedicures and like, I don't know if we've talked about feet. So I know that like people are grossed out by feet, right? Like, so that's like a common thing.
Like me. I zoom in on Instagram on people's feet.
Right. Like I'm not really grossed out by them, but I'm aware that people are grossed out by feet. So I like to take care of my own feet for that reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. I'm so glad that you do.
So I injured my toe. And
oh my God.
I know.
You have no toenail?
Oh my God, Lindsay, I'm missing half my toenail. It came off and I'm mortified. I'm disgusted. I don't know how to act. I literally want to cry because I'm not wearing sandals for the rest of the summer until it fucking grows back. Do you know what I Googled today? I literally Googled, how long will it take for my toenail to grow back? Will my toenail grow back? That's what I Googled. And you know what it said? Six months to a year.
I was going to say 6 months, yeah.
I wanted to throw up because my toenail is so ugly. And I'm like, do I just have them paint the skin when I go get my toes done? Because I can't just let the rest of my toenails suffer because one of them is so fucked up. Do you know what I'm saying? No, don't, because I'm embarrassed. Like, I look at people's feet and like, I was talking to my friend about it and she's like, Kale, it's not that serious. Like, people aren't going to look at your feet. But I'm like, I literally look at everyone's feet. Like, if you don't have well-kept nails and feet, like, you're probably not a well-kept person. So like,
yeah, that's like a major thing for me.
Right. So do I just have them paint the skin?
No, I think you can get an acrylic on it.
That's what I said to my friend. And she's like, no, don't do that. But I'm putting an acrylic on it and I'm going to send you a picture because I can't go on like this. I can't not wear sandals. Like, I literally went to the mall yesterday and I'm thinking, I need to buy new summer clothes that go with sneakers. And I have a pool out back. So I'm like, I can't have guests over because I can't let them see my toe look like this. Oh my God.
You need to buy water
you know?
shoes.
Yeah, that's what I need to get. So yeah, and
but
you know,
wait,
I'm planning.
How did you injure the toe?
I don't even know. Like, I must have stubbed it at some point. And like, cause like I really stub my feet and my knees on my coffee table all the time. And I'm wondering if there was a time that I just like either the repetitive stubbing it or I hit it one time really hard and I like looked at it yesterday and I was like, oh my God.
Who stubs their toe that many times?
Because I'm not used to having a coffee table. I just recently got it pretty recently, probably within the last like 3-4 months. I don't know if that's it, but I'm so embarrassed and I'm like, it needs to grow back, but I'm going to get an acrylic on it because I'm not doing this.
Oh my God. Well, you need to keep us updated if you get an acrylic on your toe.
Well, because I'm planning Lux's first birthday party and it's out back with the pool. I can't have everybody
a busted
seeing
toe.
Right. Like, it just can't happen. I could probably wear sneakers up until then, but at least at that day, I cannot have my feet out. So I'm going to get an acrylic. We're going to see how it goes. Maybe on Friday I'll go.
Or you could put a Band-Aid around it. At least won't look like as bad as just the busted toe. But then the Band-Aid will
come off in the pool.
Just don't get in the water.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just not getting in.
So yeah, that's my embarrassing story, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So there's that. Ever wonder how your bestie could afford to go to Iceland or your sister could buy that expensive new bag? Either way, they finally won the lottery or their credit cards are getting tapped. With Lending Club, you can consolidate your debt or pay off credit cards with one fixed monthly payment. Since 2007, Lending Club has helped millions of people regain control of their finances with affordable fixed-rate personal loans.
No trips to a bank, no high-interest credit cards. Just go to lendingclub.com and tell them about yourself and how much you want to borrow. Pick the terms that are right for you, and if you're approved, your loan is automatically deposited into your bank account in as little as a few days. Lending Club is the #1 peer-to-peer lending platform with over $35 billion in loans issued.
Go to lendingclub.com/combos and check your rate in minutes and borrow up to $40,000. That's lendingclub.com/combos.
Again, lendingclub.com/combos. All loans made by Web Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now back to the show. Okay. Do you remember back like probably a few months ago when we were talking about Will not like telling me about stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
How could I forget?
How can I forget? Trust me, I don't forget anything. This mind is a vault, okay? So I remember everything. Yesterday I was sitting at the pool with Jackson, and at 3:28 p.m. I get a text message from Will, and he's like, I know I was supposed to be at the house at 5:45, but I have a business dinner at 6 p.m. And I'm like, cool. First off, you're a liar. Because what type of person in a corporate job just randomly has a dinner at 6 p.m. but doesn't know in advance? And then he tells me that that is advance. And I said, Will,
What?
It's 3:28 p.m. Like, where's the disconnect here? Advance notice would mean like days before.
Prior.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Advance doesn't mean like, oh, you told me before 6 when you're supposed to be there at 6. That's not advance. Like, no, that just doesn't work that way. So Jackson's whole schedule, in the evening, thrown off because you're just like a clusterfuck in your mind.
So wait, did he go to the dinner then?
I guess. I don't know. I left. We went to Chick-fil-A.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea what he did. And I don't even care.
Will, he needs to get it together. That's what needs to happen. Come on, Will.
I'm buying a private investigator.
I did that once. I'm not going to lie.
Like, who does that? Who does that? And I said, first of all,
That would be me.
It's just disrespectful because who just like assumes that they shouldn't tell somebody their schedule, which involves other people.
Thank you. I mean, I'm struggling with that right now. I won't name names. However, I'm highly fucking frustrated and I feel you. I get it.
Like, if your schedule involves
affects other people. Right.
Then you should be very clear with what your plans are. I don't need to know like your whereabouts all the time. I just need to know what your plans are if it's going to affect my schedule.
Right. I mean, I think, at least in my experience, like, okay, maybe if y'all didn't have a son together, it wouldn't be obviously, like, don't waste your time and, like, let you know so that you're not, like, waiting. But when there's kids involved, I feel like there can't be a disconnect. There has to be open communication because, I mean, whatever you're doing is going to affect what the other parent does with the child and how the child is going to go about the evening. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
exactly.
I get it.
And then it's like, okay, let's just talk hypotheticals here. Okay, what if I hypothetically had a 9-to-5 job and that affected like my work day or my pickup time for my child? Would it be different if I had a 9-to-5, or do you just take advantage of the fact that I don't and I have all different types of jobs that don't require me to be at a specific place at a specific time? So you just take advantage of that situation because oh, she's got it.
I get frustrated with that too. Like, I'm very fly by the seat of my pants, but when it comes to my kids and stuff, like, no. Like, their dads need to keep me informed, and I'm going to do the same for them. Like, you can't... I was doing a lot of last-minute stuff to Joe whenever I was in school still, and he would get so annoyed. And lately, there's been, not just with him, but, like, in general, like, last-minute stuff. And it's just like, this is just affecting everybody, not just me or just not just you or not just the kid. Like, it's affecting everybody. Like, you have to be respectful of people's schedules. And even if you didn't have a 9-to-5... you don't have a 9-to-5, it's one of those things where, like, what if you did forget to tell him that you had something tonight at 6:00? You know what I mean? And so then you're both kind of SOL.
Well, okay, let's just say, for example, what if you were in Atlanta and we were recording podcast to a live audience and I had to be there at 6:00 and I was banking on him being where he said he was going to be at 5:00, and then him text me at 3:28 and be like, oh yeah, by the way.
Right. Like, it's just, yeah.
Like,
no, I get
what?
it. I understand.
Like, hey, you're lucky that you're even, like, still living at this point. Like, that made me so mad. I'm just like, I guess it's just, like, a common courtesy thing,
Yeah. Just, like, yeah. Regular shit that we should be doing.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't even care what you are doing. Just tell me, hey, this is going to affect your schedule. So, by the way.
Okay. Speaking of like schedules and planning, so we talk about HelloFresh on our podcast all the time, and I told you guys I was trying to like work out and get right. So I went grocery shopping, and I'm like, for the days that I don't get HelloFresh, I like planned out my meals for the week, and I'm going to use my crock pot again. It's been so long since I've used my crock pot. So,
oh my gosh. I love using the crock pot.
Yeah, I like forgot how much I loved it. Like years ago, I was using it pretty much every single night. Like if there wasn't leftovers, like I was using it every night, and I forgot how easy it is. And then we were fed every day. Like I hate. So like this week I don't have the kids. I have the baby, but he doesn't eat what I eat all the time. So I'm like barely cooking, but like I can use the crock pot for just myself too. And I actually am eating meals, not like junk food throughout the day. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to like plan the rest of the meals for the week besides HelloFresh. So I have like everything set in stone. So I'm excited.
What do you like usually cook in your crock pot?
So I'll be honest, I've never actually put beef in my crock pot. I've never done like a beef stew or like anything like that. So I have a recipe out actually right now for tomorrow. It's like beef with like gravy. And you put it in the crock pot. So I've never done that. I'm going to give it a try. I'm nervous because if it's not good, then it's like, who's going to eat it? Not me.
I make roast in the crock pot with like gravy. So it's probably like similar.
Okay. Well, is it good?
It's like the best thing in the crock pot ever.
And what do you eat it with? Like, what do you make it with?
I usually make roast in the crock pot, and then I will make like carrots and potatoes or something like in the oven and just put like the gravy over the meat and
everything.
Kind of like everything. But then sometimes I don't make carrots and potatoes. Sometimes I'll just make like a side of green beans with it and then just make like a bed of rice.
Okay. So I'm going to try to maybe I'll do like potatoes and green beans because I love green beans. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to try that one tomorrow. I have a couple chicken recipes, but I'm really excited for the beef one. I'm nervous, but
have you been working out?
Yeah, and I started with a new trainer, so I'm excited about that. He's just like a local trainer. He seems super cool. So he's going to come to the house because it's like hard for me to get. Everyone's like, oh, just do an at-home workout with your kids. Okay, but Lux gets into everything. Lindsay, like when I tell you he gets into everything, he does not care that there's a gate before the steps. He's climbing over the gate or getting in between the gate and the wall. He does not give a shit. So, and he's just like everywhere. And so my trainer's coming to the house and it's like a little over an hour workout. So I'm doing that 3 days a week with him and then going to the gym on my own 2 days a week. But I'm hoping my fingers are crossed that I'm going to get this breast reduction surgery next month. So I'll keep you posted on that. I know I talked about my tiggle bitties before.
Oh my gosh. It will be such a relief for you though, because yours are so big.
They're massive. Like it weighs me down. I have already bad posture and then like my boobs like add to it. So I'm just like, please let me get cleared for this.
Well, and when your chest is like really, really big, it just makes you look like so much bigger. You know, like if you had a smaller chest because
Lindsay,
your shirts stick out.
Yes. And so when the trainer came here the other day, he took all my measurements, like to do like the weight loss stuff. I was like, he went to go like obviously measure like my chest and stuff too, like checking everything. And I wear a 36 triple D, right? So we've talked about that before. But when he took my measurements, it was 44 inches.
Wow.
So I don't even think that I'm even wearing the right size bra. Like I don't think that there's a 44 triple D.
Yeah, that's pretty
like, is that a thing? I don't even know.
And in charge.
So I'm like so big. I'm super nervous and like hopeful that I can get the surgery, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. But okay. So there's 2 more things that I want to talk about. So I talked about this cleanse thing that like Chris convinced me to do. And like, I have half been doing it, but like, I did get some books to read. I told you guys about The Alchemist. My friend gave me another book by the author James Patterson, and they're like mystery books. Yep. So I'm like super excited to start reading him.
Oh my gosh, I love mysteries.
Yeah, me too. I love them. So the one that I have right in front of me right now is Honeymoon. Have you heard of it?
I love James Patterson books, just like in general, but I haven't read that one.
Okay, well I'll let you know how it is. So I'm excited about that.
I think I used to read those like in high school or I definitely didn't read them in college. I must have read them in high school.
Oh, are they like not adult books? Are they like for high schoolers?
Well, I mean, I probably just like thought I was an adult and probably just read them.
Okay.
It was either that or like Star Magazine or People. So,
right.
You know, that's all that was in my house. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's tell our listeners about the latest HelloFresh adventures. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. So HelloFresh's 3 plans to choose from are classic, veggie, and family. And each of these boxes is made up of fresh, responsibly obtained ingredients from carefully selected farms and high-rated, trusted sources. So I prefer the family ones because obviously I have kids and stuff, and it just makes it easier for us. And you know I love my cauliflower mac and cheese.
Well, I actually just cooked one tonight, and I've just been cooking a lot of HelloFresh meals lately. Because it takes all of the thinking out of having to really do anything. You just get all the ingredients and you have everything to make a meal and you feel like a superstar. So tonight we had the melty Monterey Jack burgers and they were super good. And I especially loved it just because it was so easy. And I don't really cook burgers inside. I normally grill them. So this was something that I had never really done before. And it was just easy and very good. Rediscover the excitement of cooking. Feel confident when cooking HelloFresh with the simple recipes outlined on pictured step-by-step instruction cards. The Global Eats option brings authentic international dishes and flavors to home cooks for exciting new meals. HelloFresh believes cooking should be simple and convenient. Just like I said, not a chore. All the ingredients come pre-measured in handy labeled meal kits so you know which ingredients go with which recipe and you won't spend all evening in the kitchen because recipes only take around 30 minutes to make. For me, cooking has become something that I actually want to do thanks to HelloFresh.
So you can get delicious, filling meals delivered right to your door every week for less than $10 per serving and free shipping. For $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, visit hellofresh.com/coffeecombos30. and enter Coffee Combos 30. Again, for $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, visit hellofresh.com/coffeecombos30 and enter Coffee Combos 30. Let's get back to it.
Okay, so I want to tell you something weird. That it's like a weird fact. And I don't know if it's true or not, but according to Ellen, 62% of people check their phones while having sex.
What?
Yes, according to Ellen. She had Khloe Kardashian on her talk show. This was like a while back. But yeah, according to her...
Check their phone for what? To take a video? To make a little mini porno, maybe?
No, they're not making a porno. They're just like checking their phone.
No, they do not.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I have never in my I have not been having sex for 26 years, but in my sexually active lifetime, I have never checked my phone while having sex.
That makes me question so many things. First off, if anyone...
Aside from videos.
Like, if that ever happened to me, I would literally get up and walk out, first of all.
If someone checked their phone while they're doing me, I would literally throw it across the room and tell them to get off.
I would smash their iPhone.
Like, that's not... First of all, it better not be an Android.
I wouldn't be doing it. Actually, I can't say that Will has an Android.
Oh, no, Lindsay. Get that man an iPhone for Christmas, please.
He won't. Like, he won't get an iPhone. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But yeah, according to Ellen, 62% of people have checked their phone while having sex.
No, that's not a thing. That is not a thing.
Like, first off,
they're making pornos with that 62%. There is no way they're just checking Twitter or text. Like, first of all, if you are having sex and checking your phone, you're not having sex good enough. Like, your sex sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that was one of my questions. I was like, okay, so that's like kind of an important thing if you're having sex, right? So I'm like, why would you be checking your phone? Like, what would be more important on your phone than what was going on in that moment?
I just don't know if I believe that. I need to see a fact sheet.
I need proof.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just not, I don't buy it.
You guys need to tweet us.
Chloe or Ellen? Yeah, tweet us.
Or put on our Instagram on the comments or send us messages or whatever. However you want to get in touch with us and tell us if you have ever done this while having sex, because I don't really believe it, but Ellen said it. So if Ellen said it, then it's true. And I just don't know. 62%, like that's a huge percentage.
That's way more than half.
Yeah.
I cannot recall ever a time.
Like not even once.
I've never checked my phone, and I've also never, like, no one's checked their phones.
You said no one's checked their phone.
No. Like, I need to Google this, actually. I'm going to do it right now. Oh, my God. She is not lying. It says, new study, but this was in 2013, the new study was that 62% of women check their phones during sex. In November 2017, an iPass study finds 7% of people checked a phone during sex.
Okay, then that's maybe more believable.
So this year, June 8th, 2018, a study has found that 10% of people check their phones during sex. Let's click this one. That's disturbing still. Like, I mean...
Then those 10% should not be having sex with the person they're having sex with.
43% said it wasn't a one-off occurrence either. So... In fact, this mobile hooked group admitted they'd checked their phones while getting romantic between 2 and 10 times in the past year alone. And this was on 1,000 participants. And it was between the ages of 18 and 34.
Like,
wow.
Like I said, whatever the percentage is, that percentage of people should not be having sex with the person they're having sex with. If they're checking their phone.
That's crazy. I would feel some type of way if I was doing it with someone and they checked their phone and we weren't making a video. Like, I would be so upset.
You said it, we weren't making a video.
I mean, I don't judge those couples that do that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if you're making a video or you're not making a video. I don't care if you have a tripod set up in your room. Like, I really don't care.
Wait, that's a good idea. Oh, a tripod?
Yeah. I mean, I think people do that. I think it's an actual thing.
But, like, I don't know if I could do the tripod thing because I feel like that would be, like, with a camera. And then, like, what would you do with that footage? You know what I mean? Like, that would be, like, weird. But if it's on your phone, then you have it. And then you have full control of it and you can delete it. But like if it's on a random ass camera, you're not carrying that camera everywhere you go. And like, what are you going to do with it? You know? do you get what I'm saying?
You better make sure nobody gets a hold of that SD card.
Right. Like I don't want that over like that's a lot of weight on my shoulders. I would be paranoid. So no, that's a hard pass on the tripod unless it's like a tripod for your phone.
Do you know the solution? Just don't make a video.
Well, I'm not against making videos, so I'm not going to say that.
See, which means Kale's made videos.
I did not say that. I did not say that. I was just saying, like, I don't judge. Like, we're all adults, you know?
Oh, I know. Okay, so before
Moving
this just
on.
keeps going down a slippery slope, can we talk about somebody buying coffee convos on .com?
Yeah, because I'm annoyed. So for those of you guys who have been listening, you guys know that we're working on a merch line for coffee combos, and Lindsay and I had a phone call today about it. And when we got off the phone, I was going to buy the website so that you guys would be able to shop our website. And I'm like, ooh, what should we get? Like coffeecombospodcast.com or coffeecombos.com. So we decided that we were going to buy both. So that way, if you guys accidentally put in one, it would redirect it to coffeecombospodcast.com, right? But coffeecombos.com is $3,000. And I'm not paying that. And who the fuck owns that? Like, why do y'all want that? And don't actually, matter of fact, let me go to it right now, because why does it cost that much money?
Because people do that. Haven't you heard about...
Somebody did it to me. Yes, somebody did it to me.
Okay, can you please tell the story about the person that bought your website name that lives in China?
Okay, you guys. So I used to have this website called KaylinLowry.com, right? Like, go figure. And I had it on automatic renew. And when I got my credit card expired and I had to get a new one, and I didn't realize, and in between the time that I needed to renew it and I realized that my credit card had bounced back or whatever, someone bought it, and they live in China. And so KaylinLowry.com is owned by a man in China, and he won't respond to emails. I've had like my agents reach out. I've offered money, like a significant amount of money, just to have my own website. Like, your name's not Kaylin Lowry, just give me my website back. But my whole thought was like, if you wanted the website so that I would buy it back from you, you would think that they would respond to the emails. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the mind-blowing thing. Like, is it going to his spam? Can he not read English? So maybe he thinks it is spam?
Oh, I see. But I've had like different agencies reach out to him. So long story short, my website is KaleLowry.com, but it sucks because when people like look me up, they look me up through Kaylin. And so KaylinLowry.com comes up, but that's not my website. My website is KaleLowry.com.
I just feel like it's so rude and offensive. Like, it's just an easy way for people to make money. So they go and buy up like all these names of these websites, and then they know that they would be like highly desired names. So then if you want it, then the only way for you to get it is if you pay like $3,000.
We're not, Lindsay, until we don't even know. We're not buying coffeecombos.com for $3,000 right now.
No, we're not. It's going to be coffeeconvospodcast.com.
Okay, because I already bought that one, and it's just like, that's our website. So coffeecombospodcast.com is coming soon. So we're working on it.
It's not active though, but it's coming soon.
Not yet. Yeah. And do not go to KaylinLowry.com, because it will give that man traffic and he'll never give me my website back.
Can I email him for you?
Sure. I will gladly hand over that contact info, because I'm frustrated.
Maybe we should put the contact info on here, and then if all of our listeners contacted him, then maybe he would respond to at least one person.
I'm just like annoyed that the domain like I bought mine from I don't even remember, GoDaddy maybe, whatever.
Yep.
Like, if it's my name, can't they do something about it? But I guess they can't. Like, legally, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, what could I trademark my own name and then I could own it? Like, I don't know.
I think it would be like so complicated that it's just not even worth it.
Right. So now I just have KaleLowry.com. So you need to get LindsayChrisley.com. But also maybe spell it wrong too, because some asshole might buy LindsayChrisley.com.
Yeah, we shouldn't be tipping people off. I've got to go and do it right now.
That's funny.
Okay, you know it. We love it, and it's BioClarity. BioClarity is delivered straight to you and is an easy-to-use 3-step skincare routine that's 100% vegan, plus gluten and cruelty-free, which I absolutely love.
So I use the Clear Skin routine, and I can't believe how much difference it's made in the blemishes. And, you guys know I struggle with like my jawline and breakouts there. So it's been so good for me.
And now they have a mask, and I've been using their hydrating mask, aka the Glow Getter, because it leaves your skin smoother, softer, and moisturized just after one use. It's so awesome. I actually just got another box of it today because I love it so much. And it's just a clarifying mask, and it's a pore purifier. And I was trying to smell it to like tell you guys what it smells like. It's just like that good, like clean smell. You know, like I don't like stuff that has super, super fragrant whenever I like clean up to go to bed. I just like to smell fresh and clean. And this product smells just like that. So BioClarity products are loaded with soothing ingredients like Floralux from chlorophyll, and they're hydrating but lightweight. They're so great for spring and summertime. Get started on healthier habits with your skincare. Just go to bioclarity.com, and our listeners will get their first month for 50% off of a routine, plus shipping is free. And it comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee, but you have to enter our code COFFEE. That's bioclarity.com and enter our code COFFEE. Now let's get back to the show. So, okay, you know how many times I've said on here about how the ideas of me having like another child is just not in the cards, and like,
yes,
I don't want to, and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Right.
So as the summer has gone on, I feel like I'm more indecisive. Like, do I want to or do I not want to? And I just like flip back and forth. It's like one day I'm one thing, one day I'm the next thing. Well, we've been playing at the pool a lot, and basically everybody has siblings that we play with. And there was some girls that Jackson was playing with at the pool yesterday, and they were super sweet girls. But he was playing with the older one kind of by himself for a while, and everything was fine because it was just those two. But then when the little sister got involved, then you could tell that it was like the girls and then Jackson. And he was crying, and he was like, she picks her sister, she picks her sister. And it just kind of like made me think, as siblings, like I had siblings growing up. If I was at the pool and like playing something, I would pick one of my siblings too. So it's kind of like not fair that he always only has himself to play with, or he's like the oddball out when he plays with people that has siblings because he doesn't have anybody. It's just him.
I mean, I can relate to that, and I feel the same way. I would be so sad when like my friends pick their siblings, and I'm just like, or like when they're older, like if that exact situation happened late, like when they're older, she might have picked Jackson, and then the little girl's asked out. So I don't know. I don't know. I love that my kids have siblings, and I hated being an only child.
There's no thing in the world that's the same as having a sibling.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have a sister that I just like we don't really talk. We're not close. So it's like hard to,
I think it's just like different, like living in the same house, you know, doing the same things, going on the same vacations. You know, it's just like you're always with each other, like doing the same thing, and it's fine.
It's like a built-in best friend.
Yeah, it's basically like a built-in best friend, and it's fine like when he's by himself and he's with us, but I just notice when he's around other kids, it's almost like I wish he had a sibling in those situations.
Yeah. So now you're reconsidering?
Yeah, I mean, I've always I never like fully wrote it off. It was just kind of like oh yeah, I'm not going to entertain this idea. Like if you don't entertain it, like it won't happen, whatever. But for a long time, I didn't really want another child, like at all. I
went through that too.
I just always said, you know, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, I'll be fine with it. Then I kind of went through a phase where I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I don't want it to happen. And now I'm kind of at a place where it's like, even if there's a big age gap, I would still rather him have someone than no one. But then when I say that, I say for him to have someone versus no one. Like if I got pregnant tomorrow, I would be overjoyed and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait, you know, but it's just, I feel like right now I say, oh, have another sibling, or have another baby so that Jackson has a sibling.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And like, is that the wrong reasons?
I mean, I don't think necessarily it's because you would be excited to have a baby, but you would also want that for your son. So I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing. You know, it's crazy that you say that, because I have a friend who was telling me that, like, because I think her and her brother are like 7-ish years apart, 8 years maybe. And like they had like issues or something with like the older brother, like when the baby came.
Mm-hmm.
And the therapist was like, you should have asked your child if they wanted a sibling. And I was like, what kind of shit? I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah, I've asked
to like
Jackson.
consider like the child's feelings on bringing in to have other babies. Do you feel like that's a thing?
I mean, yeah, because I've asked before, like a lot of times before, actually.
I guess when they're old enough to like understand what that means, or like to even give you an answer, it would, I guess. I mean, if they're like 8, 9, 10, or like Jackson, he understands, but like, I guess when you're like 2 or 3, they don't comprehend that stuff anyway. They don't know any different. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't really feel like it should be up to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or whatever, even like a 9 or 10-year-old to determine
that was whether you have more kids or not.
Right. Because I mean, they probably, when they have kids, they're probably not going to ask their kids, you know, they're just going to do it. So
when you do ask Jackson, what does he say?
It's always like a mixed thing. Like one day I could ask him and he'll be like, oh yeah, but I definitely want it to be a brother. And like,
and you're like, it doesn't work that way, Jackson.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But then sometimes I ask him and then he says, no, I like it just us.
Okay. And what does Will say? Have you talked to Will about it?
He wants no more kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, and I would definitely not have a child with somebody that has like that mindset, because I feel like going into a situation knowing that like they don't want that, then that would make me feel like guilty or resentful even whenever I had the child.
And they might even resent the child.
Yes. So, I mean, that's just like something that we would have to cross like when we get there. But yeah, he definitely doesn't want any more kids. And I feel like part of me says that I don't, because it's kind of like psychologically something that like I do to myself, because I know he doesn't. So it's almost like if you
don't want him because he doesn't, but if he did, then maybe you would.
Yeah, like if he was gung-ho and was like, yeah, let's have another baby, I would be all about it.
I have another friend that's going through the same thing. Like they went back and forth, and then the husband finally was like, no, I don't want any more. And then she realized, well, shit, I do want one more. And she was the one that was like, you'll never regret having another one, but you might regret not having another one. But it's hard when one is so dead set on not. It's not like he's open-minded like you are, where it's like, okay, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, then it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's really hard.
Like Will literally said that he would get a vasectomy.
So is he going to do it?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he actually will follow through with it, or if it's just like a joke, or if it's serious. I don't think it's a joke. I think he's being dead serious. I think if I said like, oh, go ahead and get a vasectomy, but I just feel like that's kind of selfish, because like you never know what's going to happen like in this life. You know what I mean? And for him to get a vasectomy at 28 years old, like I just feel like that's very like aggressive.
I love the idea of more babies for you and for me, but maybe it's just not in our cards. Like maybe we have friends that have babies. Maybe we hang out with Chelsea and Cole and we go to their house and watch the baby while they go on a date, and then we give the baby back.
Yeah, see, but I just don't know because I just feel like it's not the same, you know?
I just like, I could do without the newborn up all night thing. Like I could have like all the babies in the world if I could just like not do that part of it.
And see, that's the parts that I miss. Like not being up all night necessarily, but just like that little baby phase of.
Oh yeah, I love it during the day when I have had coffee, but like in the middle of the night, probably not so much.
Yeah. And Jackson was a colicky baby. Like he had colic from the time that he was born until he was like 13 weeks old. And his stomach would just be like in knots. And then it would just be like the witching hour. And he would just like scream for a solid hour. And then we would get in the car and he would scream from the time that we got in the car until the time that we got to our destination.
Lincoln was, if he wasn't on my boob, he was always a mess. Like he needed me or he was crying. He never slept in, like it wasn't colic or anything. And then Lux, he's a pretty good baby, but I will say today he cried so much and I just didn't understand what was happening. And because he is such a good baby, I almost like was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, I don't know how, like you would think that because he doesn't cry so much, I would have had more patience, but it was almost the opposite. Like I'm so used to him being so good that when he cried today, I was like, I don't even know what to do because you never cry like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like if it was something that you expected and kind of like
knew how to deal with, but like I just didn't know what to do because he doesn't cry like that. So, but Chris took him while I ran errands and stuff, and I took Isaac. Joe asked me to take Isaac to basketball, so I did that, and then I went grocery shopping, and Chris dropped him off and put him to bed before I started podcasting, and I guess he was fine for Chris because Chris didn't say anything, but it was just like, yeah. So I mean, if you had another one, maybe you'd get a good baby or maybe you'd get a really colicky baby again.
I know that scares me, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, because he was so colicky. And I tried I breastfed and then he was just so colicky. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Like something's got to give. And so then I tried formula and then I had to switch from one formula to a sensitive formula. And then finally he kind of got leveled out, but then he automatically started teething. It was like he got over the colic and then he started teething, but then he never cut a tooth until he was a year old.
What?
Yeah, he never got a tooth until he was 1.
That's how Lincoln was, but I don't remember him I don't remember Lincoln teething really. I don't even remember Isaac. I feel so bad. Like I love Isaac to death, but I don't remember those days. Like I don't remember when he got his first tooth. I'd have to look at the baby book. And
then do you ever like watch back videos? Like I was doing that this week, like watching back videos of Jackson, telling me it was like one specific video that I had on my phone. And I was like, give me a kiss. And he was like, I'll do it. Wait'll. And it was like, he was so little. And it was, kind of like that broken, talking
that's like my favorite stage when they like start talking and they say everything's so funny.
Yes, I love that
my
stage.
Favorite. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, if I had another one, would I just like, after I had 2, would I just like have another one?
I think in my experience, transitioning from 2 to 3 was easier than 1 to 2.
Yeah. Well, because you already had so much chaos by that point that it was just like, what's one more?
Right. So like if I had another one, I think it would just be fine. I literally, at Isaac's basketball practice today, there was a little boy on the team. His dad, like, I don't know. I like want to give like these dads like a fucking high fucking five because this guy walked in with all 4 of his kids who were 8 and under. So he had 3 boys and a girl all by himself. Like, I find it just like so awesome when a dad does it. You know what I mean? Because like we don't give credit to dads. Dads just unfortunately don't do it like we do. Like the moms, it just comes natural for us. And I feel like dads have to work a little bit harder. And so like when I see a dad with all the kids or even just like one kid and he's just taking it on, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, do you?
Yeah. Power to you, dude. Like you're so
like
great.
I was just so, he brought all 4 of those kids by himself. Like it's hard. So I was like, go dad.
And I always wonder too, like when Will and Jackson are out doing something, I wonder what people think, like, when they see them, you know? Like, what exactly are they doing? Like, I wish I had, like I said, a private investigator that was, like, following him around to see, like, first off, what he's doing. Secondly, if he's, like, abiding by all my rules. And third, like, what's their interactions? Like,
right.
What are they? I mean,
like,
what do they do?
What are they doing? Yeah. No, I get it.
And I'm like, okay, Jackson can come home from, like, being out with Will, and I'll be giving him, like, what do they call it? Like, 10th degree. Like, I'm questioning him, asking him all these questions. Did you wear your seatbelt right? Whatever. And ask him where he's been. And he'll literally tell me that they were, like, at Dick's for, like, an hour. And I'm like, why were you at Dick's for an hour? And he's like, well, we were looking at, like, all the baseball stuff. And then we went and looked at, like, the shoes. And then we went and looked at, like, the coolers. And then I'm like, why would y'all be just, like, rambling around in Dick's for, like, an hour? And you guys didn't even buy anything. Like, what?
I feel like that's what guys do. Like, I think that's what guys do.
They're just dinking around, like, around town.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like.
And we have, like, a little shopping center, like, near where we live. So it has, like, a Dick's, a TJ Maxx, and then, like, right across the way is Target and Kohl's, and it's either, like, Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember which one. But literally, Jackson will go with Will, and they'll be gone for, like, an hour and a half or, like, 2 hours. And then they come back, and it's like, where have you guys been for, like, 2 hours? Like, did you get anything accomplished, or, like, what were we doing? And literally, they don't get anything accomplished. They get nothing accomplished, but they've been in every store at the Strip.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it, because literally in those 2 hours, I could get so much shit done with the kids or without kids, but men just don't get it. But it's like, thanks for the break, you know?
Yeah, and then, like, sometimes Will be asking me, like, what do I do? Or, like, what do my days look like or whatever? And I'm like, okay, well, I washed bed linens. So the washing machine was going for, like, 6 hours, because I wash everything. Like, I wash the mattress pad, I wash sheets, blankets, comforter, whatever. So the laundry was going for, like, 6 hours. Plus I washed, like, 3 loads of clothes during that time. Plus I've cleaned the bathrooms. Plus I started dinner. Plus I made a grocery list. Like, do you just think that, like, all this stuff just happens?
I truly believe that men just think that we just don't do anything. And I'm like, literally, I have cleaned the house, ran errands. You might not see it because I was out of the house running errands, doing whatever I need to do to keep these kids alive. And you sat there in basketball shorts. So calm down. You don't have a right to question me. I kept your kid alive, so don't question me.
Literally, you sat there in basketball shorts from the time that Jackson was born until now.
Yes, literally. I just, no. I tell my kids, will be like, Isaac and Lincoln will be like, Mom, tell us about the basketball shorts again. And I'm like, literally, I carried you in my belly for 9 months. I fed you. I nursed you. I kept you alive. And and before that, I pushed you out. So really, I did all that. And your dad sat there in basketball shorts. Every single one of your dads. So joke's on me, because I have 3 baby dads, but they all did the same thing.
Well, and okay, this is the other thing. Will's like, oh, well, I help, or, I do whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like, I understand you work a 9 to 5, and that's great. Like, you have a career. That's wonderful. Appreciative of it. Like, that's awesome. Go you. I'm your cheerleader. Go Will. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, you do not go to the pediatrician. You do not go to the dentist. You do not go to the dermatologist. You do not go to, like, any of the above that I just mentioned.
Yeah. No, I literally went to my annual GYN visit the other day, and you know how they tell you to cover yourself with a sheet?
Yes.
So I had my knees up with the sheet, and I had to hold Lux on my stomach, because I'm like, what am I going to do with this kid?
I had to take Jackson to my last annual. And
okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I'm like, literally, what the fuck is life?
Well, and I'm just like, okay, why am I not deserving? Like, okay, obviously you're going out here, you're getting your physicals, you're getting your hair cut, you're getting, your teeth cleaned, all quietly, like not disturbed, whatever. When I go to these types of appointments, I have a child with me. Like, I don't just have like time just all nilly-willy, like to just, not have
dink
like,
around.
Yeah. Like I always have him with me. Like when, for example, like I said, I went to my annual OB, or is it OB or GYN?
I say GYN when I'm not pregnant.
Yeah. So I had my annual appointment and Jackson's with me. And when we leave there, he's like, Mom, why do they have to do this? Or why do they have to do that? And I was like, well,
You're like, oh shit.
Well, first off, I only let him watch her like check my heartbeat and like my blood pressure and stuff. And then at my doctor's office inside the room, there's like a dressing room inside the room. So I gave him his tablet and like made him go into the dressing room. Cause like, how would I explain, oh yeah, like now I have to get myself in stirrups and you know what I mean?
I get it. Trust me. I get it.
And it's like, thank God for that dressing room and thank God for Steve Jobs inventing the iPad because.
Well, I wish that mine had dressing rooms because I could have put mine in the car seat and then
wheeled them on in.
Curtain. Yeah, well.
Exactly.
I can't. It's like, I don't know. I've been actually struggling right now with like, honestly, it's just really been this week. Like, people don't talk about, I thought it was just single motherhood. And you know what we should have on the podcast? We should have Lindsay from 16 and Pregnant on the podcast. She just had twins. We talked about her like earlier on in our podcast, but I was talking to her about it. Like, I thought it was just single motherhood, like how lonely it is. But I think it's just motherhood in general. Like, yeah, we can get together for like mom and, kid play dates or whatever. But like tonight the baby's sleeping and then I'm going to go upstairs alone. And I'm just like, not sad, but it's like I'm lonely and it's just, I don't know. We need to talk about more of that and maybe have someone on the podcast for it.
Yeah, we definitely do. Because I think just like there's obviously different perspectives, like with different life situations, but in general, there's like lots of similarities. So we should definitely get her to come on the podcast so that we can all talk about it because I'm sure there's plenty of things to talk about.
For sure.
Well, I'm so glad that I got to talk to you tonight and catch up. And
yeah, it was fun.
We can catch up next week. You guys, we had a call today about merch and we aren't like at a place where we can give you really any information, but we're working on it. So just stay tuned. Keep following us on Instagram. It's at Coffee Convos Podcast on Instagram. You can tweet us. I love getting the tweets and the funny things that you guys think that we say that we don't even realize it's funny.
Yeah, love that.
I just love it. So if you guys just keep sending us messages, whatever, we really appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.